It was a dark and gloomy Tuesday in the state of Wisconsin. Freeze warnings all over the place. A young, aspiring podcaster sat at his computer for over 29 minutes waiting for the warm, sunny state of California to finally decide to start working. And, well, we're still kind of waiting. But in the meantime, hopefully the person on the other end can hear me and say the magic words that start the episode. I guess he can't hear it.
Should we cue it?
Dudes with brews on a porch bring you strange brews. Stories of the paranormal, the weird, the unusual. Enter if you dare.
Was that a joke or was that serious?
We're getting some weird interference here.
Yeah, I think so. You know,
I think it's on your
I think it's on your end. How?
I'm turning off my camera. I want to see if this helps.
All right, turn off your camera. Here we are.
I'm turning off self view.
Here we are. Dudes with brews on a porch. Another strange brew episode for the month of October. And since it is the month of October and we are in full force fall here, and especially in Wisconsin, cold as shit outside, freeze warnings galore all day long. It's chilly. It's not fun. But I reached and found me a delicious Oktoberfest. 'Tis the season. From New Glarus Brewing Company, I'm drinking Staghorn Octoberfest. 100% natural. Great Midwestern and European malts. The world's most expensive hops. Fresh yeast from Germany and clear Wisconsin water make the Staghorn Oktoberfest Wisconsin's real red. You will find absolutely no additives, preservatives, or artificial agents of any kind in this beer. Staghorn is brewed using the time-honored methods to release the smooth flavor of the roasted malts. This Oktoberfest would combine great. It's a smooth amber body with a clean, crisp finish. Be sure to hold this one up to the light of any harvest moon and enjoy Wisconsin's real red. If you were to eat with this, you would want to pair it with some Swedish meatballs, a Friday fish fry, or a hearty roast beef. If you're going to get some cheese, get some Greenfield's cow milk semi-soft, washed rind from Saxon Creamery. That's what they recommend. 6.25 on the ABV, 0 on the IBUs. Can you hear me, Rob? Do you see me?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can see you.
You see this beer?
I do. It's very pixelated. It's crazy how they do that. I think it's the beer.
It's a red beer. Let's give it a taste. I mean, this is going to be in full October fashion. It's malty. It's delicious. No bitterness at all. Smooth, crisp. This is a beer, baby. This is a beer. Are you drinking your holiday ale again?
I'm trying to think. Should I? What do you think?
You don't have to. You can sit this one out. That's fine.
I mean, after today and after I rushed back here just to sit and wait and watch my computer update, restart, slow down, bog down, kill my mood, I kind of want a beer.
It's up to you.
What's making me mad is that I keep. Did you finally get my message?
Yeah, You want me to turn my camera off because I'm so repulsive? That's pretty rude of you to say, but you know, whatever. I'll do what I can.
Turn it back on once. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, terrifying. All right,
I asked for that.
it's strange.
I think everything's caught up now. There's no more pixelation or and I can hear you. Seems to be all right.
There is a God, perhaps. All right, here we go. Let's talk about. Let's get into it, shall we? Reincarnation. I've heard all about it, but I don't know anything about it. You know what I mean? You hear about it, but you don't know anything about it. Would you agree?
You know what the. I mean, I've heard a little bit here and there. I tend to believe more in transmigration of the soul.
Okay, I see that. So I'm going to talk about.
So just so you know, that's an X-Files reference.
Good. I'm glad. I'm going to talk about it. Okay. The process of reincarnation. When your soul or spirit is reborn to new life, Rob. And these are generalized. Okay. So different religions and spiritual groups believe one thing or another with it. These are generalizations of it. Okay. So when I'm talking about this, I hope nobody gets too angry about it or accuses me of anything. So it's a generalization of of things. So here's where it starts, Robert. Here is where the process begins. Almost. It's all about karma in your current life. Who knew karma played a role in reincarnation? I didn't know this. Did you know that?
I didn't.
So
I did. I think I thought I did.
Yeah, perhaps. Essentially, what you do in your current life right now dictates and influences your future, your reincarnated future. Positive actions, good karma. Negative actions, bad karma. It all dictates what you're gonna do, and we'll kind of talk about like ultimately the end goal with reincarnation. We'll talk about. I didn't know there was one. Learning life lessons. So some places will say like your soul is on a journey and it's yearning for some learning. And where life lessons aren't fully absorbed, those might result in reincarnation for future or for further development. So kind of like the Casper the Friendly Ghost approach. They got unfinished business up in this bitch.
Well, there's a mentality that has to do with your trials. You continue to have the same trials until you learn the lesson, right?
Yeah, I guess. So do you think like when I'm reincarnated, I'll keep on searching for this broadcasting dream that's unattainable, or will I come to the realization that I am a phony, that I am a fraud, and I need to find something else to do?
I think I mean, I don't think that you'll realize that you're a phony or a fraud, because I don't think that's what you are. I think you'll come back as a sadder being that needs to learn how to overcome. You'll be like a sloth. Like, let's take running away from him and see if he can figure it out without that, because that seems to be getting in the way.
All right, that could be that.
Or maybe you come back as like a Eeyore.
Yeah, I like Eeyore. He's a real one.
he's real. He's
the real
Eeyore's
one.
a real dude.
Yeah, he's the real one
Dude's so down to earth.
in the Winnie the Pooh clan. This moves into death and transition. So the separation of your soul. You die, your body, your shell is no more, but your soul then leaves. Okay? And this can be a process that happens immediately, or it can be a gradual process. I saw online, and they're full of facts and truth and everything like that. But I saw something along the lines like reincarnation, to some degree, can take upwards of 18 months to occur. So you're kind of out and about for a while. But yeah, so there's this period where your soul kind of reviews. It does a little self-reflection, Rob, and it looks at the past life, looks at, what did I do, what I didn't do, and this then determines what form or state that you will reincarnate into. So is that, how's that sound?
Honestly, it's gives me anxiety, high anxiety, because I spend so much of my time questioning not how I act, but why I act. So what is right and what is wrong?
Mm-hmm.
So what dictates this cosmic chart? What is saying that helping a homeless person up off the street is a good act versus starting a company, becoming rich, but giving people a bunch of jobs to live their lives.
Right.
But technically, you step on smaller people to get your what you consider your just desserts. Is that evil or is that good? Because you do at least help a bunch of people in one way.
Yeah.
Um,
I like custard for dessert.
and well, that's why we get along so well.
It's the
And
egg.
I mean, that's really it's the basis of our relationship.
The egg in the
Um,
ice cream mixture that just really adds some huzzah to it, That's my just
That's
dessert.
so good.
I don't call it just
But
dessert,
I will
though. It's a
say,
treat.
to treat.
Yeah, it's a part of me. All in the hips. Anyways, what were you saying?
I was wondering where it went to. Do you take that with you when you die? Do you take your custard hip fat with you to the next life?
Probably.
But
but
it's yeah. My question is this. All right. So what if you toe that perfect line of just you're perfectly removed from society in a way that you don't actually affect things in a good way or a bad way. Maybe you have some self-discovery or whatever. Do you come back as the same type of person that you were? Because you tried to learn some things, but you never tried to affect change with it.
Then yeah, well, it all depends on what happens during that intermediate state, or Bardu, as some people call it. Of course, the concept of Bardu. Everyone knows about this.
We all know about Bardo, yeah.
It's that
I call it Bardo. I've heard it both ways.
It's that lingering state where you're experiencing visions, you're experiencing emotions, and just reflections on all your past actions. And then maybe you created a bunch of jobs, but then you didn't. But maybe you didn't take care of yourself, or maybe that came with at the cost of your family. You didn't do enough with your family, or with the kids that you created and stuff like that. So now, in this intermediate stage, you're just reflecting. You're just essentially, you're nowhere, but you're everywhere, and you're reflecting on all. So like you're dead, but now you still have to worry about, oh, what did I do? I gotta worry about that awkward encounter that I had 6 months ago, still in this state, even in the afterlife.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah. I can't believe I said that at prom.
Right.
And
I can't believe I roboted around that group of people.
Oh, did you do that too? Oh, I told that story.
Yeah.
Thought somebody else did that. Just me. Right out the door then too. I'm proud of that. But does it make it good or bad? I have no idea. Sounds to me like the possible idea of, and I'm gonna go with the X-Files terminology, the transmigration of the soul, because it sounds so cool to me. Like it sounds like maybe you're seeped in every action you've made all at once in a singular moment, and you got to weed through. Does that sound right? Maybe.
Yeah.
Am I making that up?
Yeah, I guess that could be it. So after that intermediate stage comes to your choosing or reaching your new life. Again, this is where karma plays a role in it. Okay, so kind of based on the balance of your karma and your reflection. So maybe like within that reflection, you see, oh, I got a little more bad karma than I do good karma or something like that. But you can possibly be born in a higher state, reborn in a higher state. So that could be on a human or spiritual plane, or you're on a lower state, which this is where you would become an animal, or you would go into what they call the suffering realms. So you have to build your way up almost. You're taking a step down. You're going to suffer in this new life. And then hopefully when you reincarnate again, you keep progressing forward. So
I missed all that.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Then essentially if you
I'm sorry. That's why I don't have a good response, is because my computer decided to go wacky again for a minute.
Good karma,
or yours, could be yours.
It's yours. Good karma could gets you into like another human, or even puts you at a spiritual.
I got all that. Yeah.
Bad karma, you'd come back as an animal, or like a suffering realm, so like a bug, and then the cycle keeps repeating. And I think the hope is that you keep from there. Okay, I was reincarnated as this bug. Now in the bug, what did I do to progress to maybe get me back to human level, or back to, whatever, something above a bug, a fucking rabbit or something like that. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but okay, can we think about this? What can an ant do that's going to make it turn into a worm?
Who says a worm is better than an ant? I would say a worm's existence is worse than an ant.
I was saying it was worse, actually. We're on the same page there. That's what I'm saying, though. Like, an ant is a programmed thing that works for the colony. They're all doing the same thing. So do ants, is there some ants that go up and some that go down? And why is it that they... That's more interesting to me than... I can understand how a human can move up and down, but I don't understand how an ant can move up and down. Or a tree, a tree should always move up, because a tree is a beautiful thing.
A tree doesn't provide the shade that it's supposed to the animals, or a tree... I don't know. It's just some suffering you got to do sometimes, I guess. You just got to sit. You got to live the long life of a tree, then doing nothing, and then you die, and then maybe that's the suffering that gets you to the next level. I don't know the rules, Rob. That's why we're trying to learn this.
Well, to me it sounds like this Bardo state. How do you pronounce it? Bardock?
Bardu.
It's with a U? I thought it was with an O.
Bardo.
Anyway. In this state, that sounds like the equivalent of heaven and hell to me.
Yeah.
It's like if you're steeped in all of your memories and no one can ridicule and haunt you like you can. We all are our own worst enemy in that way. So if you're steeped in your own choices for however long that transmigration process feels like it takes without a body, that could be an eternity in hell, or it could be an eternity in heaven if you are happy with your choices that you made in life.
Sure, you can make those connections.
I mean, I don't know. That's just seems to me, if you're living in a singular moment of all your memories, if you liked the person you were, you're probably going to be in bliss, and if you didn't like the person you were, you're going to be in agony.
Maybe you like the person you were, but then upon reflection, you realize that you were a real pile of shit, and now you deserve to suffer. But with that determination, karma is the big driver here. Karma is the force. So maybe you thought you were a good person, but you're really not, and karma is gonna get you elsewhere. There's the rebirth. You enter the new body. You get a life that's determined. The soul takes on a new physical form. Sometimes people say this takes place immediately after you die, while others say it takes a little bit more time. So depending on what you believe and where you're from, right away you're starting anew, or you gotta wait a little bit. It's a little waiting period, and then you also then have amnesia of your past life. So most think you don't retain clear memories of where you came from, though in some cases they can carry over. Certain inclinations can carry over, like we talked about with the scars. Remember when we talked about
yes.
the people with the scars on like their head or whatever,
Birthmarks.
birthmarks, and they could tie it back to like, oh yeah, I was stabbed in 1812 or whatever, something like that. So for the most part, you don't have a huge recognition of the life that you lived before, but you can get some inclinations on it, which can be, I guess, used to your benefit to be like, this is where I was, and and now look at me. So either I'm on the right path or the wrong path, or or you just like think, oh my God, I'm going insane. I'm remembering. I have all these vivid memories of sitting in the living room talking into a microphone into a man on a fake screen, that who I didn't even know really existed. He exists in the digital form, but are you really real right now, Rob?
Was I ever?
I don't know.
I'm not Eeyore. I mean,
right.
He's the real one.
See the one that says "Oh bother"? Oh bother. Is that your?
Dude, that's Winnie the Pooh.
Oh fuck.
That's the main character.
It's the Pooh. The Pooh.
Yeah.
The one, the only. All right. Anyways, moving on. So yes. So when we're talking about the cycle, so that's kind of like the process of reincarnation. As far as like you die, here are the steps that happen afterwards, right? There's a cycle. Think of it as a cycle where there's ongoing reincarnation. So it's a cycle known as samsara. Your soul continues the cycle until it reaches enlightenment, liberation, or a state of transcendence. So that's what you have to do. The ultimate goal is to never reincarnate ever again. Like, I think so many people think about reincarnation as this positive thing, as okay, I'm looking for signs of a loved one who I lost back in the world. They said I'm gonna be like look for a pink ostrich, and then people find a pink ostrich and go, that's them. But really, from what I can see, from what I've seen, is you don't even want to reincarnate, because you want to reach to that point where you are now at that salvation level, that enlightenment level, or the highest spiritual possibility that you can reach, heaven or hell, you know what I mean? And once you get there, once you have this union with the divine, process is over, you won. You are now at a state of ultimate peace, permanently. That's what that is.
I mean, it's ultimate. Yeah, it's where we become wavelengths. Yeah.
Yeah,
Something like that.
You become something. You become something that you are everything, but you are nothing.
Have you ever experienced a state like that?
Where I am everything, but nothing.
Let's say.
I know I'm nothing. I've felt that for a long time.
Well, that's good.
Maybe I'm on. I'm
Yeah.
almost.
You're halfway there.
I'm to that point of enlightenment. I'm pretty close.
Yeah, you're getting real close. No, but I mean, I've done guided meditation and actually gotten to the point where I couldn't feel my body at all. It was mind blowing.
Guided meditation.
Yeah, with somebody that was training to be an actual like yogi or whatever they call them, and not the bear.
Damn, you knew where I was going.
I knew. I saw it. I saw your eyes light up in the digitized form. It's very pixelated on my end. I think it's from you though. It's your camera. But so walk through where they literally like I've tried to do this on my own. I can't. It's very difficult. I can get through chanting or even humming and doing that. Like I can get to the point where I'm seeing something, hallucinating to an extent, of rushing through. It's a very calming effect. But this guided meditation that I did, it's the only time that I've been able to have it work, where they literally tell you to breathe into like the bottom of your feet. You think about and then you breathe that out, and you slowly work your way up to the point where I'm telling you, man, I can't really describe it. It's just colors, and there's no everything. Imagine all any pain, any feeling, any whatever, it's just gone, and you don't worry about it not being there. It's very relaxing. And if that's on the way, now that's got to be the lowest, the smallest little glimpse of what being able to say, like, oh, this, you leave your body behind and you become just one with whatever it is, the cosmos, I suppose. I wouldn't say I experienced that, but it definitely, the not feeling, leaving the body behind, it can be done on this plane in this physical location.
Just as long as someone else is telling you how to do it.
Yeah, as long as somebody's whispering in your ear. Yeah.
Were they whispering? You're not meditating good enough.
I think they put something in my water too, but I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. There's the mushrooms growing around. You're like in a forest or something.
I mean, look, I've also done a lot of stuff that can create. I've got residual effects going on in my body, I'm sure. I'm waiting for some of those shoes to drop.
Yeah, I've never practiced any meditation. I've never searched for any form of spiritual enlightenment or any like transcendence to nirvana. I've never, I know what it's like to smell like teen spirit, but I can't say I have reached that nirvanic state.
Yeah.
Nice. So maybe I'm on the way. I would like to know, like, if the person who I am now, when I'm thinking previous lives of the soul that is within me, what was it doing before that it ended up with me? Am I the step above, or am I the step below?
I don't know. Maybe I want to say you must be the step above, but you just you don't want to recognize it. But because you don't, I don't know what's so terrible about it. The people around you really get bummed out when you say this shit that you say sometimes. Because it's like, hey, what am I, dog shit? You get, you
No.
hate your life. Here I am. I'm talking
I don't.
to you. You got a wife. You got a kid. You got
I have 3 kids.
2 more kids.
So, I don't hate my life. I just struggle with my own self-worth. That doesn't mean I hate my life. I love my wife. I love my kids. My dogs I could do without. But
yeah, well, we all know that.
Yeah, but I'm not.
So maybe maybe you were real selfish and you learned your lessons in your last life, and now you're not able to love. Maybe you loved yourself too much in the last life. And the pendulum swings a little too far, and now you can't love yourself, but you love others and you do what you can for other people. And in your next life, you'll get a little bit closer to this or that. Do you believe? Are you religious? Can we talk about that? We've never talked about this, have we?
If I'm religious,
yeah,
I'm the furthest thing from religious.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not religious either. I find it interesting that we sit here not believing in heaven, not believing in hell, not believing in God or the devil, except for around Christmas. And but yet we sit here and put so much pressure on ourselves to be good people.
Right.
In reality, there's people out there that would say, if you don't believe in an afterlife or some type of punishment, i.e. hell, or some sort of treat, just like clouds of custard that you get to roll around in, as some kind of a incentive to be good, then why are you being good? You should end up being a politician who will say whatever the fuck they need to say to get whatever the fuck they want. And we should be billionaires because we should be willing to sell people down the river. But we're not. We sit here in our small rooms and go like, what can I do to be a better person? What can I do to lead by example? What can I do to just be happy whilst not stepping on other people's happiness? That's what's interesting to me. So where does that get you?
I think I would say it's like that's just ingrained in human nature in an established society and established, you know what I mean? Like that's just who we are. Naturally. Like I look at it as like I don't need a book to tell me to be a good person. I don't need some magic sky man telling me I need to do all these things in order to get into a point where, to get into the ultimate relaxation place, permanent holiday type of shit. I just do it because that's who I am as a person. That's
Yeah, because
me.
we couldn't live with ourselves
Right.
otherwise.
Yeah.
But that's the thing of it to me, where it's like all these people, and maybe I'm going to alienate people here, but it's like all these people that say you like, oh, I need this book that tells me why to be a good person.
Mm-hmm.
And then these are the rules, and it's like, and don't think about those rules and don't question those rules. And then I'll get to the promised land of what is it, the Elysium Fields or whatever you want to look at it as, but it's not all it's cracked up to be, I don't think, if it's even real. But that's what's interesting to me. I would believe more in karma than I believe in heaven and hell, but it sounds to me like they actually overlap quite a bit. Just it depends on how you look at what happens in the aftermath. Like, I just think that somebody didn't want to believe that all their knowledge gets thrown out the window as soon as they hit 100 years old or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So what happens? Well, clearly you move along to another body of sorts, and you take your memories with you, but you have amnesia, which is convenient.
Right.
Uh, but you can unlock those feelings if you do the right things, and then you know. I don't know. I
I
started talking a while ago, and I don't know where I was going. So now I've gotten to the place where I'm lost.
Yeah, like you're in the Bardo state. I don't know. I would say I don't even believe in karma because I've seen the good guys win over and over again. So that's just me. But it's funny
I think
because
you mean the bad guys win?
you're right. Thank you. The bad guys win over and over again. But then it's like I don't know. I don't believe in any of that stuff. But at the
But
same
that's the
time, I
thing.
believe in ghosts. I believe in spirits roaming the world and being sitting next to me right now, and I just can't see them.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. I would say this though, that the reason that the bad guys win now is because by a karmic standpoint, they lose later.
Right.
Um,
But we only experience the now.
that's and that's why we suffer now by trying to do the right thing, or what by our own standards. This also comes down to what's good, what's right and wrong, what's good and bad.
Right.
But yeah, the people who tend to go like, I don't care, I'm going to sell poison to the entire planet, i.e. DuPont, and not care about what, like, even though I know that it's going to do this to bad thing to people, like, they have mansions, they still have a NASCAR, they still have a Fortune 500 company, they still have worth
Hmm.
based on the society that we live in. Meanwhile, the guy who's teaching for crap money, children that need help,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make, it's like you've got to claw your way up to mediocrity.
Mm-hmm.
As do I, by the way, the guy that unclogs the toilets and changes the fill valves. Like,
Yeah. Have you ever, so as a maintenance guy, have you ever just taken a poop in somebody else's apartment?
no, no, that's
No?
like, for me, that's no. I'll
That
go to a vacant.
that'd be
I got a little hand soap thing and some toilet paper on my cart
on your
if I
belt.
gotta go.
You just always have a roll of toilet paper.
It's in my belt.
Instead of taking the stairs, you just like
It rolls down.
you tie it and then you just climb down on your triple ply TP.
It's triple ply braided. Yeah.
No, that's what you should do that for some maybe I think every once in a while you gotta do some things to earn some bad karma. So maybe just take a poop in somebody's toilet and then don't flush, and then they'll be like, "What just happened? Where did this come from?" That happened to me in one of my apartments twice. Twice.
Somebody didn't like you, dude.
Oh, I was just like mysterious. Like I was just like, where did this come from? Because it wasn't me. Like I'm like I don't. What happened? But yeah,
I don't eat corn.
two mystery poops, unflushed, and it was like, wow, this is interesting. So I don't know, but yeah,
Because your enemy is reincarnated.
but the funny thing I think is like I don't believe in all the stuff, right? I would say I'm an atheist, but I'm fascinated by it. I'm fascinated by reincarnation. I'm fascinated by exorcisms, all like religious things, religious happenings, or it could just be paranormal happenings too, not necessarily linked to any God, any heaven, or any hell. But I look at this stuff and I think it's interesting. I don't think to me religion and all is just like a cult. That's how I view it. A person chants at you, you chant back, you drink wine, and you eat stale bread. At least with Catholicism. It's just all I don't know, it's all stupid in my opinion. Like,
No, yeah, it breaks down to they say kneel, you kneel. They say get up, you get up.
right.
You know.
And then
But
they say I'm gonna sexually assault small children. You look the other way.
Yeah, and we're talking. We're getting specific here. When it comes, there's a lot of other religions out there that have a lot of, it's all
integrity.
based on an idea of faith, though. That's the thing that I always was looking for growing up, was this idea of faith in something.
Yeah.
But I never found it. I don't have
Same.
faith in our capitalism. I don't have faith in democracy. I don't have faith in religion. I don't have. The only thing you can really try and have faith in is yourself, and hope that you're guiding your own ship in the right direction. Because I do kind of believe in manifestation. I think that you can create the world that you live in, but you have to be willing to walk through some hard doors. You have to be you have to be willing to break some drywall to expand your world and create the thing that you want. Most of us have a hard time doing that. I don't know. I think with me, being a drug addict made it very easy for me to okay, now I need to start anew and just walk away from the things that I had. But that's most people, they grow up, they live near where they grew up, they work in the industry that they grew up knowing. Their relationship mirrors the relationship of their parents. And they're cyclical patterns that we're stuck in, and it takes a little bit of pain and anguish to get out of them.
Yeah,
and that's what those karmic things are. It's like when you're thinking about that and you're going, "What am I going to be after this?" It starts to make you think, "What am I now?" And that's a good thing to question. You don't need God for that. You don't need a priest for that. You don't need anything for that. Sometimes it just, the catalyst could be a death in the family, could be a hit of acid, but
yeah,
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that since your father passed, you've been delving more into the idea of what's going on in the afterlife, what's going on with spirits. I mean, you've always been interested in it, but I can tell you reincarnation has come up quite a bit this year. Between me and you, spirit. It's like I there's nothing wrong with that. That's a perfectly healthy way to look at things, especially if you're not religious, because religion will give you the answer. Oh, he's off in limbo, or he's in this other place, or he's waiting for the rapture.
Yeah, well,
but
I mean,
he'll probably not make it, because that's a real small percentage.
Well, and it's dude, he was gay. So some religions doesn't deserve happiness, right? He broke the mold. He went beyond the creation of the Lord and all that bullshit. So I don't know. The two, even when I'm running, they always say, the cardinal is the sign of a person that you've lost or whatever. And, it's not on every run, but on a lot of runs, I do see, I happen to see a cardinal, or I'll see a cardinal every once in a while, and they're native to this area. It just brings me a little comfort, I guess, sometimes, so.
Do these people that say that, do they know that birds aren't real?
I don't know. You're right. Yeah. It's, they know. They probably don't know.
Sorry to burst your hope bubbles. No, it's a robot.
They actually know. They do it intentionally. They read the obits.
They read the obits. Release the cardinal.
They got one, any moment. That's how it goes. But yeah, no, it's just an interesting concept. Altogether,
I would love to just. I would probably sign up for the idealism that when you die, you just get to be a bird. That would be pretty sweet, actually.
Fly,
Yeah,
like
you fly around. Like,
go place
you
to
don't have a
place.
tongue, so eating worms isn't a big deal because you don't have taste buds.
Right. People feed you a lot. You know, whether it's bread or birdseed, you're going all over the joint. You end up finding
And you get to listen to old people on benches, cool stories without making weird faces on accident.
right. You can be the ultimate eavesdropper, and you're judgment free. You're just a bird. Damn. So maybe the enlightened ones, maybe that the human form is like, 2 steps below enlightenment. The next step is you're a bird, and then you reach
hollow bones.
Yeah. And then you reach easier to lift up into the world of nirvana
Yeah, we're heavy sacks of skin.
and shit.
Gross. Yeah.
Yeah. So we might be onto something.
What's below that when you really break it down?
I guess I don't know. Like
A dung beetle, I guess.
yeah. Or you would just be like, most people hate spiders, so there's a good chance that people are just going to be like attempting to kill you if you're reincarnated as a spider. So, for sure, I think that would be it. But I'm tired. I'm ready for bed, and I pounded this drink. I drank it really quick. It was.
I noticed that. Yeah.
I kept like coughing a little bit, so I was like trying to
Wet the whistle.
wet the whistle. I drank the new Glarus Brewing Company Staghorn Octoberfest beer. Delicious. It was good. This is like your staple beer, I think. Like I know I say that from time to time, but when you're thinking of like good amber ales, good red ales, like this is it. This is what you have. You get the malts, you get no gimmicks, you get no bullshit, you get no filler, you get nothing but the purest of malts, some clean water in the mixture. It's crisp, it's refreshing, it's got that beer taste to it. Like this is just what this is what people drink. Like this is your Wisconsin fall brewski in my hand. No tricks. Just pure joy. Taking me one step closer to enlightenment. And you drink that holiday ale again. Did it taste any different than before?
You know what? It must have been good. Because it came back as a better tasting beer.
It's got.
It was last time it was
cold.
warm. This time it is cold.
Right. So that changes.
So I can really I can taste the ginger. I can taste the spices on the back. It's sweet, but in a good way. It's not overly sweet. Yeah, it's better cold. Who would have thought?
Some people are just better cold, I guess. So, yeah, we'll talk about some more stuff next week. And until then, buy merch on our TeePublic, which you can find that link on our Instagram. Yep.
Yep.
Bye.